my darlings, today we are going to jump right into this video. I have a few books that I'd like to recommend to you to read over this holiday and winter season. So let's just jump right into it. This first book is a book that I read a couple years ago. It is by the amazing Joe Hill, and it is called Nosferatu. Some of you may have heard of it. Nosferatu is about this girl named Vic McQueen. She is gifted. When she rides her bicycle, she can find things that are lost. It's a very nice little trick to have up your sleeve. But when she decides to try and find this child that is lost, she comes in contact with this guy named Charlie Manx. Charlie Manx also has his own little gift, and his gift comes in his nice car that takes him to a place called Christmas Land. Christmas Land is not a very nice place. This book is very Christmassy themed in the dealings with Charlie Manx, which is why I feel it is appropriate for this list. But it's also a book that you could read anytime during the year because it is very, very good. I think that Joe Hill is an amazing writer, and as many of you know, he is Stephen King's son, so maybe it's just an inherited gene. But I love it. It is my favorite Joe Hill book so far. I have yet to read The Fireman, but out of the books that I've read of his, Nosferatu is the best, and you should definitely read it. The next book on my list is a book by, I think the author is Swedish, so I really don't want to say his name because I know that I will not say it right. So I'm going to put his name right here. But it is a book called Let Me In. It's about this young boy named Owen who is constantly bullied and picked on, and he becomes friends with this girl named Abby, and Abby has her own little secret. Now the book is very wintry and cold, and it's just, it feels appropriate to read when you are going through the cold months as we are now at this present time. So I really think that you should give it a shot. It is very gruesome, and yeah, it took me a long time to read it. It is one of those books that you kind of have to work into, but once you're into it, it's amazing. I love it. The next book on my list is actually a collection, and it's called Hark the Herald Angels Scream. It is a collection of short stories based around Christmas time, and most of the stories in this collection are very good, which is why I'm mentioning it, because although there are a few duds in there, most of the collection is very good. And as someone who is not the biggest fan of holiday themed collections, I think that it's worth the read. Especially if you are in that type of mood where you want your Christmas and you want your horror too. So you combine the two and you get Hark the Herald Angels Scream. There are a lot of different writers in there. Josh Malerman is in there. This was actually my first time reading anything of his, and it was one of my least favorite stories in the collection. But yeah, the collection's very good. You should definitely give it a try and read it, and you're welcome. The next book on my list is by a little author that I have come to love over the last 2 years, and her name is Anya Alborn. I read this book last year at the end of December, or maybe it was actually this year in January. Actually, I think it was January. And it's called The Shuddering. The Shuddering is basically your starting trope of a bunch of friends going to a cabin, except for this blizzard hits and snows them in with a bunch of monsters that are trying to eat them. And there's a cute little dog. Anya Allborn's writing is amazing. I've yet to read anything of hers that I did not like, but this collection, or this book, is very wintry themed with the snow and the cold, and it's a nice book to have when you're huddled up under the covers, so I'm recommending it to you to read. And if you haven't read anything of hers, then I suggest that you read everything, because she is amazing. This next book is a weird one. I did read this one last year, and I read it because I saw the cover on Instagram, and I was like, there's no way that I cannot read this book. So I downloaded it, read it in a day. Guys, it's The Human Centipede. Centipede. Yeah. The amazing Adam Milliard wrote it. He writes a lot of parody type of novels, and The Human Centipede is everything that you're hoping for. It's everything. Okay, there's a bunch of elves going missing in Christmas Land, and there's this guy in the black coat that's kidnapping them, and like Santa is a dick. It's everything. Like, you're not gonna read anything else like it. It's amazing. So definitely get it. It's obviously very Christmassy and it's very wintry, so it is a very good book to read during this time of year. This next book I also read last year. Last year was like my winter themed Christmassy type of season, because I went looking for Christmassy horror books. So yeah, this was one of them. I actually downloaded this one because a friend of mine suggested that I read another book by him, and I liked the book so much that I went looking through his collections of books and came across this one. It's called Krampus, a Yule Lord, and I wanted to read it because I really loved the other book of his I had read, and it's everything. I am obsessed with Krampus. I have a goat named Krampus, as many of you know. I love a whole Krampus lore. I love most things that have to do with Krampus. So this book is really awesome. The art in this book is beautiful. That's one thing I can say about this writer. I don't know offhand who his illustrator is, but the art in this book is gorgeous, and the story itself is amazing. To like sum the story up, this struggling songwriter like sees Santa. Well, actually, I think he sees elves instead. It might be Santa. I don't know. It's been a year, guys. Like almost to the day, it's been a year. But it's a great book to read. Definitely read it. You knock it over, I kill. Oh, shake your leg, why don't you? Are you handsome? Yes, you are handsome. Do not rub me. Oh boy. You are such a good boy. Oh my gosh, you are. You are such a good boy. You're such a good boy. I swear, if I don't record a video and hold you like this while I tell you how much I love you, I didn't record a video at all, did I? Yeah, I didn't record a video at all, did I, Santa? Okay. The last book on my list is a book that I feel you cannot not read during winter. And also, if I'm going to make a list with writers, I'm gonna have to include him. And it is The Shining by Stephen King. As most of you know, The Shining is a book about a family that's taking care of a hotel during the cold winter months. And they eventually end up snowed into this hotel, where madness sets in. And that's very... that's putting it to the bare minimum. Most of the book is set with very cold weather and snow and, you know, cabin fever and the hotel itself, and it's a great book to read when it is cold and you are snowed in with your family and you are thinking about coming after them. It's a very good book. I have also done a review on this book in my Hail to the King reviews. I will leave the link down below. And read it, because it's very good. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope that you find a book to read over the next few days, and maybe it will help you keep killing your family, because that's important. I want to wish you guys a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I will have a video out next week as well, so I guess I will see you then. Make sure that you like this video and subscribe to my channel, and all of my books and social media are in the description down below, as well as links to all of these books that I have mentioned in this video. And I'll see you guys next week. Kisses, my darlings.